Well, no ruling yet on a disputed election for Mobile City Council. A judge heard arguments about whether District 2 Councilman William Carroll's challenge should be dismissed. And our Brendan Kirby was in the courtroom. And Brendan, the judge is asking for more arguments.
Yeah, that's right, Cameron. She brought up an attorney general's opinion that she thinks might be relevant and told the lawyers to weigh in on that. There may or may not be another hearing 2 weeks from now. Both City Councilman William Carroll and the candidate who defeated him in the August election, Samantha Ingram, are asking the judge to follow the law. The problem is there are two laws. Which statute takes precedence will determine whether Ingram was the rightful winner in District 2. Thursday's courtroom battle featured legal firepower on both sides. One of Ingram's lawyers is former City Council attorney Wanda Cochran. One of Carroll's lawyers is Garrett Zogby, whose great-aunt wrote the Zogby Act that's partially at issue. Ingram's supporters packed the courtroom Thursday for a hearing on her argument that Councilman Carroll's challenge should be thrown out. At issue is whether Ingram lived in Mobile long enough to qualify for the election. She previously lived in Georgia and voted there in the November presidential election. The Zogby Act, which created Mobile's mayor-council form of government in 1985, says candidates have to live in the city for at least 1 year prior to the election. But the general statewide municipal election law, amended by the legislature in 2003, says 90 days is the requirement. And 90 days is what was on the candidate qualifying form that Ingram signed when she launched her campaign. Ingram attorney David Allen argues that the statewide law supersedes the Zogby Act because it is the more recent of the two.
That's the argument we had today is, does the general law of the state apply, or does the local 44C apply, and does 46 supersede 44C?
But Jay Ross, who represents Councilman Carroll, points to an Alabama Supreme Court case from the 1980s suggesting that differing election laws should be read together when possible.
If there's a conflict between the two laws, then the court should harmonize them so they read together. He did not amend the Zogby Act in any way, and hence the Zogby Act still should control.
Councilman Carroll says it's premature to speculate on how a special election would play out, but he says it's important for the rules laid out by the Zogby Act to be followed and suggests that it might be a good idea for lawmakers to weigh in to prevent losing candidates from having to challenge invalid candidacies after the fact.
I see a section where there needs to be, or probably needs to be, someone that is capable of enforcing the law of qualifications.
Mobile County Circuit Judge Brandy Hambright gave the lawyers 2 more weeks to submit additional arguments. If the challenge isn't resolved by next month, it's likely Ingram would take office. Whatever ruling the judge makes can be appealed, which means this could last a while. And if there is a special election, it's unclear whether Ingram would be able to run. Reporting live in the News Center, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.